Whoa, 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 bop.
What's up YouTube? Chris Bandy here. In this series, I'm going to show you how to understand jazz harmony. This tutorial focuses on harmonic features, analysis, and labeling. It does not focus on progressions or performance techniques, although I might make tutorials for those concepts later on. In addition, I teach jazz piano, theory, and composition lessons in person and online, so email me if you are interested. If you have any questions about this video, please check the description before commenting. Thanks to the Coldest Water Bottle Company for sponsoring this series. This 21-ounce sports bottle is solid and sturdy, keeps your drinks cold, floats on water so you don't lose it, has a rubber grip and a handle, is odor resistant, and fits in basically all cup holders. It has been perfect for me every time I go out of the house, and they have 12 different bottle types and a bunch of other products. The brand has over 8,000 5-star reviews, and they offer full refunds if you aren't satisfied. Pick up a Coldest Water bottle today by clicking the link in the description, and use the promo code BANDY to get 10% off your entire order. Alright, let's get into the series. Now, fully diminished 7th chords have their own unique extensions, which are the major 7, natural 9, natural 11, and flat 13. These are the 4 tones that normally appear above the structure of a fully diminished 7th chord. Because they are the remaining tones of the whole half diminished scale. Now, this won't change the way you label extensions. You will still treat the natural 9 and natural 11 as natural extensions, and the flat 13 as an altered extension. Just make sure to put add before the major 7. For example, E flat fully diminished 9, add major 7. In addition, as you can see, I've respelled some of the notes here, since double flats are unnecessarily hard to read. For another example, D fully diminished 11, flat 13. Now, if you really want to abbreviate this, you can just pretend that the flat 13 is a natural extension, and simply label the chord as D fully diminished 13. But this is allowed only for fully diminished 7th chords, since the flat 13 is part of the whole half diminished scale. Now, when a chord symbol contains a certain extension, that chord could include not only that extension, but also all the odd-numbered tones below that extension. For example, since the chord symbol C minor 13 has a 13 in it, that means that chord could include not only the 13, but also the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So, if you read the chord symbol C minor 13, you are allowed to play any and all of the odd-numbered tones: C, E flat, G, B flat, D, F, and A. The same goes for the 7. When a chord symbol contains the 7, that chord could include the 1, 3, 5, and 7. If you don't want a certain tone to be included, you need to indicate that as an omitted tone. This implication extends to the abbreviation of the fully diminished 13th chord that we made earlier. Since the chord symbol D fully diminished 13 contains the flat 13, that chord could also include all of the odd-numbered tones below the flat 13. So D fully diminished 13 could contain the 1, minor 3, flat 5, diminished 7, major 7, natural 9, natural 11, and flat 13. Now, an exception to this implication. Whereas the natural 11 is a perfectly normal extension on 7th chords that have the minor 3, it is less common as an extension on 7th chords that have the major 3. So you'll see the natural 11 commonly on 7th chords whose qualities are minor, minor major, half diminished, and fully diminished. But you won't see it very often on 7th chords whose qualities are major or dominant. This means that you will almost never see the number 11 written as the extension in the chord symbol of a major or dominant 7th chord. It also means that a major or dominant 13th chord will not normally include the natural 11 as an extension. The reason for this is that major and dominant chords include the major 3. But if you have the major 3 and the natural 11 in the same chord, then they are a minor ninth interval apart from each other. Most people do not like how this interval sounds when used in this way, so most people leave out the natural 11 whenever there is a major 3. So, if you're writing a major or dominant 7th chord, and you want to include the natural 11, then you'll need to indicate it as an added tone. For example, if you have a dominant 7th chord with a natural 9 and a natural 11, you could write it in one of 3 ways. First, if you treat the natural 11 as an extension, then label the chord as C11. But remember that this is rare, and you might get yelled at. Second, if you treat the natural 11 as an added tone, then label the chord as C9 add 4. This is much more common and more easily readable for jazz musicians. The third way to label this chord will be covered later in the series. For another example, the chord symbol A flat minor 13 means you are allowed to play all 7 tones: A flat, C flat, E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat, and F. Since this chord is minor, it's okay to use the natural 11 as an extension. The natural 11 is the D flat. By contrast, the chord symbol A flat major 13 means you should leave out the D flat and choose from only A flat, C, E flat, G, B flat, and F. Again, if you want to include the natural 11 in a major or dominant chord, then indicate it as an added tone. For example, A flat major 13 add 4. If you want to abbreviate, you can say A flat major 13 natural 11. And of course, if you want the sharp 11, then just write A flat major 13 sharp 11. Of course, you can also just avoid the objectionable minor ninth by simply revoicing the chord, so that the natural 4 is either a minor 2nd above the major 3, or a major 7th below the major 3.